Welcome to Focus on Family. I'm Cathy McCarthy, and tonight we will focus on part 2 of our series on creating the life you love. In part 1 last week, we talked about success has been our birthright. Tonight, my guest, Kim Kasparian, who is a business strategist and life coach, will continue us on our path to creating the life we love. Welcome back, Kim. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Cathy. It's exciting to be back.
So let's recap about
Sure.
last week.
We introduced the concept that just by being alive and being here, that success is something you already have and that you already are. So if you're chasing it or feeling like you have to do 101 things to get it, you're disconnected from the life truth that you already are the success that you're seeking.
Okay. And attitude, having the right attitude.
And we talked about how do we start embracing that truth and how do we actively embrace that truth. And the tip that we gave in the last segment was to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, to take 5 minutes every day and write down 5 things that the day gave you.
Okay.
Okay.
So say we're doing this, we're writing down 5 things every day for things that we're grateful for, where we're trying to stay in the present moment and creating this feeling of abundance or success or whatever it is that we're trying to create.
Right.
So what will we do next?
Okay. Once you embrace or try on the notion that I am successful, just because I am, and that it's about the shift in the mindset is rather than chasing down success, you are allowing success to come to you.
Okay.
And you're slowing down to create that experience.
Okay.
So there's 4 life truths that I wanted to share with you and your audience. So the first one is success is your birthright. So the way we left off last segment was if success is my birthright and anything I ask for can be received and I have endless possibilities, what is there left to want?
Okay.
Okay, that was the thing that I asked all your viewers to kind of, oh yeah, she's right. Why would I worry if I can have anything I choose? So that would lead us to the second life truth. Success is our birthright. That means our needs are always met.
Okay.
Most of us, many of us, no matter what success level we've created, we tend to always be worried about something. Whether it's the kids, whether it's the money, whether it's the job, we tend to, and if you've had a change, death, divorce, illness, something in your life to upset the status quo, we tend to focus on our needs because we're doubting. So people who feel like they're in survivor mode or they're struggling to make ends meet, why is that? Why are they having that experience? Because they're not focusing on the higher level desires. They're focusing on their basics, not the basics, what we teach as the basics, but things that are already theirs. So most people, big topic, Kim, what do people worry about? Money, the economy. We teach in our classes, money's the last thing that you ever worry about because money's the one thing that always comes when it's needed.
Okay.
So when people are in stress or in a transition, they tend to worry about things that are always going to be met. So if your needs are always met, what's there left to focus on? Desires. Higher level. Well, if my needs are always met, where can I take my focus? I always recommend, if you're new to this, is focus on fun.
Now that's really hard to do if you're in a situation where you don't know where the money's going to come for the rent or mortgage, the kids are going crazy, your marriage is falling apart, the job might not be there tomorrow. All this is going on. How can you say, well, focus on fun? So how would we get ourselves to that point?
Let me just say that I did not read this out of a book, that I actually learned these lessons when I had the most horrific things happening to me, like car accident, like a job loss where wasn't guaranteed a paycheck, death in the family that really shook my core, being sick to the point where I couldn't move if you put a gun to my head. This is where, in those moments, that's where I learned these truths.
Okay.
So the first thing I think I want to share is that you are given, if you wake up, like today you woke up, right? Anybody watching, they woke up. We've been gifted with an additional 24 hours. If you do not feel that you deserve or are entitled to at least 30 minutes of that day,
without any guilt,
to enjoy whatever you choose to
Right.
do with your day, we got bigger problems than what we could solve on the show.
Right.
But most people don't think that way.
Right.
They think they've got to, and the truth is, no matter who you are, if you're the President of the United States, if you're the janitor who, washes a school, this is where we're all equal. We all have 160.
Men and women think differently. Men are more problem solvers, so that I think they try to fix it.
No, well, men have the same challenge. Believe it or not, men have the same challenges as women with time. We just do it differently.
Okay.
Men are maybe a little bit better at putting themselves first than women.
Okay.
But here's where we're all equal. We all have the same 160 hours in a day, actually in a week. We have the same 24 hours, 168. We all are given the same 24 hours. Time is finite. No matter who you are, no matter how much you slice and dice time, time is finite. Just thinking about it makes me break it out into hives. Because the truth is, no matter who you are, you can always find more to-dos than there is day.
Right.
Yet we try, every day it becomes a battle of trying to bend what already is. So once you already know you're already set up to fail by focusing on time, are you open to a new option? Our strategy is, if you want to get it done, start having some fun.
Okay.
So I have fun. There's things I do not like to do. I don't like doing the laundry. I don't like taking out the trash. I don't like doing administrative work and all the details, but they have to be done. Can't stand filing, but these things have to be done. So if I show up to fun first, what normally takes me 4 hours takes me 40 minutes.
Okay.
When I just try to push it through and just soldier on, things take a lot longer and they don't get done very well.
Okay. So create some fun in that space, whether it's putting music on or
fun creates energy. So if you desire to have more time, or you would like to experience your needs being met even though you don't have as many zeros in the bank account as you might need, showing up to fun builds your energy level. So most people do not know this, that everything is energy. All right, so this chair that I'm sitting in has been scientifically proven. It's really not a chair. It's a bunch of molecules that vibrate at a certain frequency that make this chair appear hard. But anybody who's taken physics will tell you this chair doesn't really exist. How does that work? So people who manage energy and who live in the truth that my needs are always met, take themselves out of a certain mindset. Once you take yourself out of survival mode, there's more to life than you ever thought. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So because when we're in survival mode, we live in a box. We only see right here.
Right.
So for your viewers, and I invite your viewers to do this too, go like this. Or actually go like this, Kathy.
Okay.
Look around the room, kind of, if you viewers at home do that too. Notice that you only see, that you're in your room and you know how big the room is, but how much of the room do you see like this?
Right, like tunnel vision. Not
Right, tunnel vision, right? Or and actually, with one eye, close one eye and put your hand right in front. So block your vision completely.
Okay.
So this is scarcity mode.
Okay.
This is oh my God, my needs, I gotta focus on my needs. I might not be able to pay the mortgage, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
Right.
The world that we're really from, and the world as it is and what's available to you, your birthright, is the entire room.
Right.
But you weren't focused on the room. You were focused on that little corner with a hole in it.
Right.
Wondering, oh my God, So by focusing on fun, it takes those shackles off. Your energy goes up, your vibration level goes up. As your vibration level goes up, more becomes available to you.
Okay.
That's the power of now. Everything that I'm sharing with you in these segments are to bring you into the present. Why is the present so perfect? Because try it right now, and you might be at home, I don't know where the camera is. You might have issues, problems, things that you haven't had a solution for. If you just focus right now with us, listen to my voice, be here with Kathy and I, and just listen to what's going on in the background. Maybe you're at home, maybe you're at work, and listen to what's happening in your world. you'll notice yourself being present in this conversation. And if you're being present right now, just kind of take a moment and breathe. Maybe you can focus on your breathing. There's no worry here in this moment. In this moment, your needs are met. Mm-hmm. Your heart's beating, your body's circulating oxygen throughout your body. And this moment is really good. When you start to freak out is when you start thinking beyond this moment. For some people, I've had days, if I think 5 minutes beyond my nose, I'm freaked out. Mm-hmm. Some people realize my needs are met for today, but my needs aren't met for tomorrow. What I teach people and what we teach in our company is you need to stay in the moment. There's no promise that you're going to have 5 minutes from now, mm-hmm. okay? But if you have 5 minutes from now, it's a trust. It's a leap of faith that if you get those 5 minutes, resources are coming 5 minutes from now so they'll be there when you need them. So you ever, like in the morning, you're worrying, and all of a sudden like the phone rings and you get a sale? Mm-hmm. Or the thing that you were stressing about, someone calls and says, I have that for you?
Right.
Well, 5 minutes ago, you didn't have that. But you didn't need it. You needed it like by 6 o'clock p.m. At 4 o'clock, the call comes and your needs were met. It's learning to practice to be in the moment, because in the moment preceding that call, you didn't need it. Everything you needed, you had. So it sounds kind of like very Zen-like, but when you practice this, and just say to yourself, my needs are always met. And maybe even write down, well, how are my needs met? I have a roof over my head. My kids are safe. There's money in the bank for today. I don't know if it's going to be there by the end of the month, but there's money in it today. And you count all your blessings. When you focus on what you have, even if it's this much, oh, I have. And it tells your brain, and it starts to get you focus on, oh, I have, so I'm okay. Whatever you have, you can expand. So people have worries, mm-hmm. they get more worries. The people who focus on not having enough, what do they tend to experience?
Lack.
Not enough.
Yeah.
So it always starts with a mindset, but the next step is like, okay, can I have a mindset? I have an attitude of gratitude, and I'm focusing on the possibilities versus the problems. Success is simple, and we make it way too hard. We tend to make a list of all the hoops we have to jump through before we can have it. 2 things are required for success: your ability to ask for what you really desire, and your ability to receive it, period. Needs are always met. You don't have to worry about that, but you're like the higher level things, ask and receive. The challenge is most people don't ask, won't ask, don't know how to ask. And women especially, they never mind asking, even if they ask or you offer, oh no, not me, I'm okay.
Right, right.
So there are people who are great givers, horrible receivers. Mm-hmm. There's people who will receive but will never ask what they really want and then complain about what they get. So the next tip for if you really want to experience your birthright is you need to know what you're asking for. And sometimes you're asking and you don't even know you're asking by the way you think, by what you focus on. And then your goal is to prepare to receive with positive expectancy what you need to do. So if someone asks for more money, money is a great topic. Mm-hmm. I desire to make more money, but they don't have a bank account, or they don't have any understanding of investing, or they're asking for like 50 new clients, but currently there's no room or capacity for those 50 clients. They're either not going to get the clients because they're just not ready, or they're going to get the 50 clients and then they're going to be in a panic.
Okay.
Because, oh my God, I've never had 50 clients before. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do with them? And this thing that they've been praying for becomes a very negative experience because they're not ready.
So almost be careful what you wish for?
Kind of, yeah, sometimes. But if you ask for it, like a very good question I use in my coaching sessions and in our workshops is people sometimes ask, they don't even think about what they ask for. They'll ask for something. I'm like, okay, you sure you want that? And they try it on and go, no, not really. Okay, what were you asking for instead? They go, I really wanted that. Okay, so ask for that. Oh, that feels good. Okay, now pretend you really believed that money was coming by the end of the month, those clients were coming to you already on board, or that vacation was really going to happen. Okay? What would you be doing now that you're not currently doing because you don't really believe that's true? Like, at the end of the month you're going to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. What would I be doing? Oh, I'd be preparing to figure out who I'm leaving the dog with, make sure I have all the outfits, make sure I have my trip booked, make sure I have, whatever I need. That's right. So a great way to receive is to act like you already have it.
Okay.
So if you want to make more money or you want to have an investment account, open up an investment account and put $5 in it. Yeah, I know you want tens of thousands of dollars, but nothing's going to happen unless you have a place for that money to go.
Right.
You desire to buy a new house or you want to move to a new place. Start writing on paper. A great way to create things is on paper. Start writing down all the things that you want your house or the job or the person in your life to have. Because once a tip that I can give you is, if it's not written, it's not real.
Okay.
But once it's written, it becomes real.
Okay. Now what about acting on those? Say you want more clients.
Okay. So let's say you want more clients. What would you be doing if you believed you had more clients?
Setting appointments.
Great. So then that's what you do.
Imaginary appointments?
When I've done this, when I've been like, I don't know who to talk to, I've just set appointments to go have coffee with people.
Okay.
My best friend, people I haven't talked to in a while. And what you find is when you show up on those appointments, things happen that you didn't think would happen. And when you go home, there's 5 appointments going, oh, Kim, I've been meaning, Kathy, I've been meaning to talk with you. I wanted to set up an appointment with you.
So what about all this about marketing yourself and networking and business cards and, things that what we're taught has, whether you have your own business or
you're networking for a job. No matter if you're doing a business, all these 4 truths can be applied to business. So if you're going to market, you still need to have the 2 basic principles. If you can't ask for what you need or ask for what you want and you can't receive it, you can't market.
So you should be really clear on what you want.
In marketing, if you're trying to build relationship or business, you have to know what you want. And even in relationship, first of all, you need to know what you want. You can't negotiate without knowing what your win is. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to get somebody interested or to buy into what you want, you have to think ahead about what they want. What's in it for them? You know what's in it for you, sometimes, but most people don't even know. If I ask them, I never thought about what I wanted. Okay, that's your first problem. You know what you desire. I desire a new job. I desire a new relationship. Great. And you have a target of who you think it should be or who you want it to be. What's in it for them to choose you? So success. I desire to be a bigger company or I desire to be something new. Let me try that on. Who would, and this is what I did to actually meet my husband. I had an image of who I wanted to be with, and I had a vision, and I knew who the characteristics I wanted this person to be and how I wanted to feel with them. And then I asked myself a very important question. Who would I need to be to attract him? Mm-hmm. Who would I need to be for him to feel he got the better end of the deal? Because I knew all the list that I wanted. And then I started being that person before he ever showed up in my life.
Okay.
I imagined he'd want me to be somebody who was confident in myself, somebody who could allow myself to have fun, somebody who was confident enough to share her feelings and to be giving, but also allow myself to receive. And at that time, I was none of those things. I was very entrenched in worry and doubt. So I started to be the person that would be interesting. Right. And I actually enjoyed myself even before he showed up. So if there's something you want to be, there's a couple words believe and become.
Okay.
I like words. I've always liked words since I was a kid, and I like the meaning of words because words have energy. The word be live, if you break it apart, it's be, live. Be live. What do? We want to live, we say we can't live it until, you can't live it until you be it, but we want to live it to be it. Well, when it comes, I'll be that. Right. When the money comes, I'll be that. Oh, when I meet the person of my dreams, I'll be that. No, you won't. Because if you can't be it first, you can't live it.
Right.
Another great word that we have fun with is the word become. Okay? You have to be it for it to come. Mm-hmm. But the way we live our lives, it'll come, when it comes, I'll be. So we have to become, and instead we want to be cumbies. Okay? And if you're not a cumbie, you become a doobie.
I gotcha.
Okay? I can't have it until I do. Right. No. You're a bee.
Right.
Okay? Being. You know, that ing in English is like, you know, active.
Right.
You're a being, not a doing. So people forget that. Right. And honestly, it's the hardest thing to do. But when you do it, you're able to ask. And just the tip I want to give everyone today is go to your life and just simplify everything in your life into asking and receiving.
Okay.
What do you need to ask for to receive it?
And to know what you want.
Sometimes that's the first. And you know, especially women, I ask them that. That even happens to me.
Yeah.
I go helping people all day long. They go, Kim, what can we do for you? What do you need? I'm like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that.
Right.
And they're asking me. I'm like, how many times do I dream for someone to ask me that question?
Right.
And I'm like, holy cow.
I don't know.
This is my moment, and I don't know.
Right.
So taking the time to check in with what do you desire, then you ask yourself, whatever you wrote, is that what it is, or is that what I think it takes to get there?
Right.
If it's what you think it takes to get there, ask yourself, what do I think that will bring me? Usually that answer is the feeling, is the experience, and then once you identify that, try it on.
Okay.
And just see what happens.
Okay, so for example, if you were looking for a totally different career,
Yeah.
for example, and you think you want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That was my goal. That was my goal from I was 9 years old till 18.
Okay, so you want to be a doctor.
Yeah, I was convinced.
You start, you know, going to school or studying this, which you think you want. How do you know that, you know, when does that light bulb go off? And
That's actually, for me, the time I was 9 till the time I was 20, I was convinced I was going to become a doctor. I was on the path until I stopped and asked my question, why do you want to become a doctor? And I knew at a young age what prompted me to become one was the death of my great-grandmother. The doctors prescribed her medication and didn't tell her how to take it right, and she hemorrhaged out. So that was like the impetus. When I asked myself what really drives me about being a doctor, it was my desire to help people. That's my burning passion, helping others. And hands-on. When it came time to declare my intent to go to medical school, and as great as it was, and I wasn't afraid of the work, I realized that I would be in books for years, or I would not be able to do what I desired to do for many, many years. That didn't turn me on. I was like, if I can't do what I'm like, doesn't fit now.
it didn't feel right.
It did. Well, it just was like, well, no, I don't want to be in books. I'm not task-oriented. I'm people-oriented. But if I wanted to become a medical doctor, it was a requirement.
Right.
They're not going to let me work on patients unless I do. So it changed my focus to think about what other careers are there that allow me to do what I want to do right now. Okay? So if you're looking for a career, the best thing, or a change, ask yourself, how do you want it to make you feel? What's the feeling you want to have? Freedom? Power? Fun? What's the driving thing? You want to be able to help people? You want to be able to, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Know the feeling and then figure out what careers allow you to do that. You can make a laundry list of the things that you really love to do, the things that you're willing to do, the things that you would rather eat dirt and chop off body parts than you would then do that.
Now, how do you know if it's a career or a hobby?
The best advice I ever got was in 8th grade when I was going through my little midlife crisis at 13. What am I going to be? I need to fake the high school. Right. And I was having, and like my best friend's mother, who was wonderful and really sat down with me like, the wonderful woman she was and treated me like the adult that I thought I was. And she's like, what's stressing you out, Kim? I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. And 13.
You're 13.
But she treated it very seriously. She didn't make like, she said, here's my best advice to you. Figure out what you love to do all day long, even if no one paid you. What do you love to do all day? And then she goes, your job as an adult is to go find someone to pay you to do it.
That was good advice.
Okay. My dad was a great example. He worked a job that, he became an apprentice at a young age to become in the printing industry. And he worked the same job for 30 years. I don't think it was his dream job. His cousin said, hey, you should come. Okay, I'll do this. But what he did is that job supported us, and allowed him to do what he did love, like raising his kids and providing us a great life. So that job, and it provided him the flexibility to be the hands-on dad that he was. So did my dad love to get up every day at 4 o'clock and drive an hour to work? No, but he loved what that job provided him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because some people struggle to turn a hobby into a business. Sometimes it can work, and sometimes it's just meant to be the joy. In that vein, a great book to read, any of the entrepreneurs out there, The E-Myth. Actually, The E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber. The book starts with a story about Susie, who makes pies, loves to make pies, lives for making pies. And everyone says, Susie, your pies are so great, you should do a business. She starts a business, and by the end of the book, she hates pies. Because what became a love became a chore.
Right.
So is everyone's passion meant to become a business? No. Yet everyone's birthright and job is to make sure they have moments in every day to show up to their passion. Okay. And by showing up to their passion, will give them the energy and fortitude to show up to everything else.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So today, success is your birthright, and stop worrying and focusing on your needs because they're already met. Focus on what you love.
Okay. Wow, that's really great advice. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Again, and I'm looking forward to the other segments that we're going to be doing together. I'm getting a lot out of this.
Good.
I really appreciate
I'm glad.
that.
That's
Thank you.
Just if you and one of your listeners gets the value of what we're talking about, then I did my job.
Yeah, this is awesome. So
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. So thank you for joining me again tonight on Focus on Family. Please continue following us next week for part 3, Creating the Life You Love. You could also follow me on Facebook at Focus on Family. I'm Cathy McCarthy. Until next time, live well.